Hey there guys, and thanks for tuning in. It's your buddy Invader here, ready to rock out with you as always. You know, we're about a month or so away from E3, so today I want to do my E3 speculation and impressions, and just give my thoughts as to what could possibly show up at the big three console makers shows. Now, before I start, I just want to make it clear and state that this is just my speculation, so don't take it as something for certain. Just some fun predictions and thoughts on my part. So, anyways, first up, Microsoft. So, obviously this is going to be a huge show for Microsoft. They're going to show off the Scorpio, the new look for the console, pricing for it, and most importantly, what it can do, and show off the games with a release date. I think you'll see games that have already been announced for a while, like Sea of Thieves, Crackdown 3, and State of Decay 2, running at 4K natively, and they'll all have release dates. I'm going to say that we'll see all the games released this year as well. I will say that we'll probably see VR integration with Scorpio console. We'll see different makes of VR headsets coming to the console, as well as exclusive games. There's rumored to be a Fallout 4 VR game out there, so I'm going to be bold and say that there's maybe some kind of exclusivity deal in place between Bethesda and Microsoft, as they seem pretty close these days. Now, while I don't have any specific details on anything, I can see Microsoft having a CGI trailer or two showing off a new game property in development. Obviously, that's the kind of thing you do at these shows. I can also see a revival of an older property as well, and I'll say that that's probably going to be MechAssault. Phil Spencer alluded to it a few months ago over Twitter that, hey, it could make a comeback. So let's just see what happens there. Of course, you'll probably see a small indie games reel segment as well. And I'd like to see some games re-emerge that we just haven't seen in a while, like Ashen, Below, and Cuphead. We've seen a lot of Cuphead in like little bits, some teasing, but we still don't have a firm release date, but apparently it's going to be releasing sometime in the summer, I think. And as per usual, you'll see a few third-party marketing deals on stage. Best place to play here, DLC first here, etc., etc. Those games will be the next Assassin's Creed game, which is supposedly called Empire and set in Egypt. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, the Lord of the Rings game will also be on stage. As well, there's been rumors stirring about a new Splinter Cell game appearing soon, and I think you'll see it on the stage with Microsoft as a timed exclusive. It makes sense as they've done deals on Splinter Cell games in the past. At the end of the show, I have a feeling we're going to see a teaser for Halo 6. It makes a lot of sense, right? Anyways, next up, Sony. Now, Sony is in an interesting position as they know Microsoft will be showing off the Scorpio console and a bunch of true 4K games. I think they'll have a heavy showing of third-party deals like they've had over the last few years. Games like Destiny 2, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Call of Duty World War II. And hey, maybe a few others we don't even know about yet. It just seems very likely they'll be scooping up large third-party titles for big attention. As for their own games, I think we'll finally see what Sucker Punch's new property is. No idea what it'll be, but I'd imagine some kind of third-person action game knowing their history. Also, there's rumors floating around recently about a new PlayStation All-Stars fighting game. That'd be interesting if true, as the first one didn't do too well, but I didn't really mind it. I thought it had some good components to it, and hopefully we'll get to see a new iteration to it. I also want to say that we'll see more gameplay for Days Gone. I'm thinking it's pretty far along now, and I want to say we'll see a release date for it this year. Not to be left out, I think we'll see a good chunk of time dedicated to the new God of War, with gameplay. This is probably going to be a big game for them in the last quarter of the year, and I could definitely see them confirm a release date for it. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw gameplay for titles like Spider-Man or Uncharted Lost Legacy. I get the sense that Spider-Man could come out fall to be released with the movie if it gets released on Blu-ray, as well as some nifty promotions, but hey, we'll see. I don't get the sense that we'll see Detroit this year. For me, it still seems like a year away, but that's just my gut feeling anyways. With the release of PlayStation VR last year, I can see also a few new VR games get showcased. Maybe we'll see more of Media Molecule's game Dreams, as we haven't heard about it in, well, quite a while. I'm also going to go out on a limb here and say that we'll see a small hardware announcement with the possibility of a PlayStation 4 Pro Slim model announcement. There's been some stuff floating around about it, and I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to decrease the size of the console. This kind of makes sense. So what will Sony end up with? I'm gonna go on a hunch here and say a new Resistance game. You know, I'm very sure that would catch some people's attention. Definitely mine. Now on to Nintendo. Now, to be honest, Nintendo is a bit of a wild card here. They haven't really done a whole lot at the last few E3 conferences, but with the Switch finally out now, I could see a few things possibly happening for them. I think it's practically a given that we'll see gameplay for Mario Odyssey, and that we'll get a release date for it close to Christmas. There's also been some rumblings of a new Metroid game in the works being developed by Retro Studios. They haven't done anything since Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, so I think it's about time we hear something from them. Otherwise, I think there's a good chance we'll see another Wii U revamped port. That's likely Smash Brothers. I could also see some Xenoblade Chronicles 2 gameplay with a firm release date, as it's supposed to be hitting this year. Another thing that I get the feeling Nintendo will talk about is their revamped online network. It still isn't officially out on the Switch yet, and it would be good for them to highlight the service before it gets out later this year. Now, to end off their show, I think we'll finally see the new Beyond Good and Evil game show up, and it'll be a timed exclusive for the Switch. So guys, what do you think will be showing off at E3? Please leave a comment down below. Overall, I think they'll all have a pretty good showing this year. And by the way, huge shout out to the Next Podcast for having me on a few Saturdays ago. I'll leave a link below if you want to check out the show. I had a great time there with an informative group of people like Xbot, Newark, The Dawn, Buskies, and definitely give them a look. It was an awesome time to go hang out with them. Also, I just wanted to say a big thank you to all my subscribers. I hit 600 subs earlier today, and I feel truly astounded by the support that I've been getting. I really enjoy creating content and just interacting with everybody. I've got some stuff planned that I'd like to do and hopefully get into some streaming over Beam and such. So again, thanks for sticking around everybody, and I'll continue doing what I've been doing. Well, thanks for watching guys. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Invader, out.